Hey everyone, Chris Whittemore, the designer of the game Doodle-inks. On the last video, we did a setup video on how to get the game set up. And so what I want to do today is go through how to play the first phase of the game, which is the building phase. Before we go into that, let's kind of cover what's on our sheet here, and then cover some of the cards and just a few basic mechanics before we do a few examples together. On the player sheet, you'll see the blueprint, and that's the golf hole that you'll be constructing during the building phase. On the golf hole, you'll have the tee box here and the green, which you're trying to get to that in the tournament phase in the least number of shots as possible. During the building phase, you'll be surrounding features and earning points, covering skill point spaces and earning skill points for your skill track here. And you'll also be connecting houses. There's 4 houses, and by connecting a house with the same terrain type, it will earn you points. So 10, 20, 30 points for connecting 2, 3, or 4 houses. You'll have the score track here. There are 2 scoring rounds. Whenever whenever one of these rows is X'd out, 2 of them are X'd out in the R1 box, then it triggers the first round of scoring. And then whenever 2 fully X'd out tracks, or all 9 of these boxes are X'd out, then it'll trigger the second round of scoring. Then you add up your 2 rounds together, and that will be recorded here in this space. We'll have some reference boxes here. There are some symbols that you'll be paying attention to in the building phase, and in the tournament phase is where you'll be hitting your golf ball down the field here. So each of the terrain has different effects that typically are not good for your shot. And so some reminders here in the tournament phase reference box. Over here is the special bonus box. So as I mentioned, you'll be in the first phase earning a bunch of skill points. You'll be recording those here in the power track, the shape, and the spin. Each of those give you some special abilities in the tournament phase. But you can spend any one of these skill points to trigger a special bonus, which can be to change a die color, flip a dice to the reverse side, buy a feature space or a skill point space. And then this last one here is to reuse an already crossed out bonus. The skill track, you'll be collecting your skill points here. You can spend let's say for example, a blue skill point to manipulate a blue dice result by ±1. And then as your skill points increase and you cross over into this ±2, every time you spend a skill point, you can manipulate it ±2. Okay, at the for each round, as you're rolling dice, you're going to be assigning dice, and then there'll typically be 1 left over, and that dice goes in that little box there. And in the first round, this blue shaded reminder is you will X out the score track based on which color is in here, and then in the second round, the second phase, the tournament phase, if there's a green die right there, then you'll add a skill point for the green track. This is just a little reminder on some of the scoring, how each of these different boxes score features. 3 points for surrounding a feature, and then as you surround more and more of them, they become more valuable. So 6 points each for surrounding 2, and 9 points each for surrounding 3 or more. And I already explained the house. -2 points for leaving one of these rough spaces uncovered. So for example, if you have 10 rough spaces not covered by something, then that would be -20 points. You will score 10 points for completing an objective. Sorry, 20 points, I think I said 10. You'll be scoring 20 points, and you'll put that here. In a multiplayer game, the first person to complete an objective gets 20, and then anybody else after that only gets 10. All right, and then you would just total up your points in those 5 different categories, and you put your total here. And I'll cover the tournament phase scoring maybe in the next video. I think this first video, let's just focus on the building phase. So let's do a couple examples together. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let's just cover a couple symbols. This is the grid, and in the grid you'll find the shape cards. This is size 4, 5, and 6. This little symbol right here is important in the building phase because you can use this symbol, if you position it right over this skill point space, that will trigger the ability to add a skill point to your track. So otherwise, you cannot cover these spaces unless you use that symbol, okay? This bounce symbol is only used in the tournament phase. These features, you'll need to choose these shapes and surround your features, and when you do that, you will also gain a skill point. So if you surround this yellow sand trap feature, then you'll also gain a yellow skill point, in addition to the points that we talked about already. Some cards will have this little target, and that is the soft landing symbol, which is only important for the tournament phase. That represents your golf shot just kind of landing in the spot and not rolling. So there's that soft landing symbol. The 1 and 2 size card has a circle with an X through it. That is important to draw that during the building phase. This represents an obstruction, so you can't hit over it, you can't hit onto it. You will mark your map with this obstruction symbol if you use this shape or any of these size 3 shapes, okay? All right, let's do a couple examples. I think I've covered everything. I may remember something along the way. So just to start the game, we roll. All right, a 4-4-2. So let's just start by, well, okay, my objective here is to connect, looks like A to D, so that's a nice long distance, difficult objective to achieve. So I may want to try and follow like maybe the rough here and cover some rough spaces as I'm working my way from A to D. And I can do that with a 4-4. Let's choose that shape. And then this yellow is not assigned to anything, so that's going to go there for later. All right. So we just selected the size 4 in the water hazard blue. I think what I'll do, just to start this off, is I'll put this shape right here. Kind of fits nicely and covers 4 rough spaces. Now I'm going to draw that symbol. I'll use my black pen because it's a little bit more clear. There we go. And some waves. The yellow gets marked off, and then that's it for the first turn. Let's go second turn. A 1-1-5. Not great, but I do have a size 5, and I'm going to need to either use the green or the yellow. I really want to try and, maybe I can use a yellow to mark that in, or I can use this green if I did something like this. Here we go. I guess I'm going to assign another yellow over here. Okay, so we're going to use the size 5 shape in the tree green. And I like, oh, I don't want to block that. So let's, here we go. We're going to put it right there. Use my green. And I've covered this space with a skill point symbol. Here, I'll just make it nice and yellow, or green. Put the tree symbols in there. I earned a yellow skill point. I'm sorry, yeah, a green skill point. Colors. And then I cross out the yellow track here. On to the third turn. Okay, 663. And again, I'm trying to connect these houses. So let's do a nice big shape. See this guy here, it almost like, it's not a perfect fit, but it can go right there. Here, I'll leave this here for now in blue. So the symbol's going to go right there. I go down 2, over, down 3, over, right? Am I doing this right? Okay. Yep, I think I got it. Okay, and let's make this look like a water hazard. All right. Good. So I'll put that back. Oh, and this is the green that I didn't use, so I'll go. Okay, let's keep going. And 442. 442. I just kind of need to like leap over the top of this guy. So I'll be, in the future turn, in the tournament phase, I'll be hitting over water, which is not a big deal. I just don't want to land in water. Okay. 4. Oh, this shape again. Okay, well, and then green. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just gonna, well, actually, I could do that. I'm gonna put this guy right here, like this. It's okay. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, okay, I have a place, I'll likely have a place to land in the following round, but I don't want to clog up my landing zone too much. Holy crap. There we go. Green. Okay, and I got a blue skill point. All right, 5th turn. Oh, this is a really terrible... Okay, this is a good time to discuss the building phase card, unless I want to try and manipulate this with spending some skill points. Oh. Yeah, so that's connected here. So I've connected B and A. Here's what I'm going to do. First off, I'm going to spend a skill point. I'll cross off the spin, green, and I'm actually going to buy this feature, because check this out. Let's darken that in. Nice and dark. Yeah, there we go. Check it out. So I've just placed a feature. Oh, no. Yeah. Is that? I just have to choose it. I have to choose it to be blue, because it's got to match one of the spaces that it's adjacent to. So that's going to be a blue feature that just automatically gets surrounded because I just placed it right there. All right, completed feature and a skill point for doing that. Okay, so I still got to get back to my dice here. I'm probably going to end up doing this guy, and I can just do a 2. I'll do a 2 blue, green. So I just drafted this size 2 shape, which I'll put right here. Okay, and then I'm also going to draw that obstruction symbol with an X and a circle. Let's make that nice and visible. Okay, yeah, so in the following phase, in the tournament phase, my ball flight, let's just use this guy for example. If I was to use this, let's say I was right here, right? I couldn't hit over this obstruction, whatever this is, maybe a big tree coming out of the lake, because my ball flight would be overlapping that. So that's what the obstructions do. And then green. Okay, so as you can see, I'm progressing on my skill track. One thing to note is I have not put a single blue die in this box here. And what that means is, despite having largest blue area, 2 skill point symbols in my largest blue area, I'm going to score 0 times 2 if I don't do something about it. But I keep dedicating all my dice to drafting blue shapes, so it's a little bit of a balance. So let's see if we can figure something out here. Okay, well, let's just keep going. One more turn. Yeah, 4. Yeah, so I'm tempted to do another blue shape, which doesn't fit all that well in here. Maybe I do that in the second scoring round. Maybe let's just go with green, so I can at least put 1 blue X over here. That means I'm going to draft this 4 shape. And where can I put it that'll be of the best use? I mean, if I put it, I want to surround that guy. I suppose I can just kind of put it like that, and I'll be connected to this green. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll go, and then my star is over in that spot here. And these are tree symbols. Okay. And the blue die goes right there. Not bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to end the round here so we can kind of do an example of scoring, and then we should be able to end the video. Let's see if we can do it. That means I would need to not choose the yellow. So, do I go a 6 green? Oh. Or do I do a blue? Well, we are trying to do the blues, aren't we? Well, let's just do it. I don't know if that's optimal, but hey, it's an example. So I've just drafted this shape once again, and it's going to be blue, so I could probably go... Oh, there it is, right there. You see that? Let's do it. Hey. Cool. All right, so we're going to end the round here. So I have 2 tracks in the R1 box completely filled up. That means I am going to do my scoring round, so let's just do that together real quick. Starting with blue, I have a 1 visible here, and my largest lake area or water hazard area has how many skill points? 1. That's not a skill point. 1, 2. 1, 2. Well, they both have 2, but it looks to me like that one might be the biggest. So it's going to be 2 times 1 is 2. Going to the yellow, 2 is the most clearly available. So I don't have any yellows. I haven't put a single sand trap down, so that's 0. And then my forest has 2 spaces. 2 times 2 is 4. 6. Okay, play would continue until either you've filled up 2 tracks or I've finished these last 2 X's here and completed this 9x9. Any of those 2 situations, that would end the round, the phase, and you would end up with your scoring. Combine the 2 totals and put here. And then at this point, I'm only scoring 1. That one's worth 3 points. I did complete my objective. You can... No, I didn't. I could probably use like a size 3 shape to connect my water all the way to A. So that's something I would need to do in the next couple of turns. So I don't have any objective points, and then I've got a ton of rough spaces still to cover up. So that could be I could be sitting on negative 30 or 40 points if I'm not careful. I think I've covered everything. Of course, there's going to be stuff I missed. The rule book is online. Follow the link to download that and give it a read through. On the next video, I'm going to go ahead and complete the building phase, and on the next video, we'll start in on the tournament phase. All right, thanks. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.